with our mighty team. Heroes we've become, living out the dream. Roll the dice, feel the thrill, monsters we will overthrow. Questing with friends in the RPG show.
It's time to head down to our friendly local game store and see what's new on the shelves this week. Good morning and welcome. It's 8:12 in the morning. It's the 11th day of September 2024. Yes, it is 9/11, 23 years ago. That horrible day in history happened. So let's just take a moment of time to bow our heads in silence to all those whose lives were affected by that moment. Okay, on the lighter side, it's also the day that our friendly local game store gets their new product. But don't take my word for it. Please, if there's something I mention, call ahead to your friendly local game store and make sure they have it in stock, or if they can order it. Don't just go, well, I'm going to order it on Amazon. No, please support your friendly local game store. So this week we have some more 5e love from Kobold Press. We've got Deep Magic Volume 1 and Deep Magic Volume 2. These are pocket editions. Pocket editions are their smaller press version of the book, so they're a little bit thicker, but, you know, they're smaller, so they take up less room. I love pocket editions, even though they are thicker, but actually they take up the same amount of room when you think about it. I just like them. These are $29.90 each, which is reasonable. Deep Magic Volume 1 deals with elemental and time magic. Never, ever, ever bring in time travel into your game. Deep Magic Volume 2 features witch magic and different types of things you can do with witch magic, except for potion brewing, some adventures around witchery and spookery and sorcery, some bard stuff, and a martial archetype. Okay, and let's give the sword swinger spells, because, yeah, no. Okay, from Blind Visionary Publications, we have Tales from the Smoking Worm. Unfortunately, whoever took this picture doesn't really do it justice. We can see some of the details, but I'd like to see more, and there's a lot of shadows on this still. These is a Dungeon Crawl Classic RPG with 3 soft cover supplements, $60 for all of them, $20 each. Tales from the Smoking Worm issue 7, Tales from the Smoking Worm issue 8, and Tales from the Smoking Worm issue 9 is a whole bunch of stuff for Dungeon Crawl Classics or any D20 fantasy game, really. So, you know, like all these magazines, it features new thingies, new patrons, new word puzzles, new magic, new herbs, new classes, adventures, ideas, stuff like that. So just tons of stuff that you could use. If you're familiar with Dragon Magazine, then you're familiar with this. From Exalted Funeral, of course, because they do have the weirdest cover, we've got Sister Hang the DJ, the Dark Glinting with Metal, Mork Borg compatible character pads, Pilgrimage on the Pentient, all by Exalted Funerals. These are all Mork Borg. Okay, so we've got from famous DJ Ronnie Fisher, live-in sound studio office, we have invaded by Sister. But the reasons unknown to half the dead staff, half already manual, half setting. The first half of the book has cyborg stats for Sister's main body and the 5 turrets. It also includes a sound studio with a towering mixtape of terror. Okay, I don't really get it. I guess it's something to do with music or album DJ Ronnie Fisher has put out. From the Dark Glinting of Metal is a broiling and unforgiving landscape. Horrifying world feels like collapsing world. And I don't know, it's dark and glinting and there's metal. And then the Mork Borg character sheets are Mork Borg character sheets. And it includes a new ability called Pilgrimage of the Pentient that you can take if you are a character trying to survive in the world of Mork Borg. I don't know enough about DJ Ronnie Fisher to make a guesstimate, but I'm assuming it's something cybernetic. And with SISTR as a name, maybe it's something to do with an AI entity that has taken over and is based upon something that thinks it's your sister. Oni-chan? I don't know. From Nightfall Games, we have Resist and Musketeers versus Call of Cthulhu. So Resist is for the Terminator RPG. Hey, remember there was a Terminator RPG? Anybody remember that they did do a Terminator? No, I don't remember either. But yes, there is a Terminator RPG. It seems like one product every couple of years. Resist features information on the Resistance. Each one written by a different writer, each based upon a region where they are from, and then how they think the apocalypse would have affected their world and how they're fighting Skynet and stuff like that. Musketeers versus Cthulhu takes place during the Musketeer times of France, featuring the Musketeers. You can play them, or you can make your own characters, and you're going around doing that adventure and skullduggery and swashbuckling in that period of time. And oh, by the way, there's also Lovecraftian Cthulhu stuff going on. So courtly intrigue, flirting, cool hats, fencing, acrobatics, swashbuckling, horrible tentacle monsters. What more could you want? And then from Shadowland Games, we have Raven core book, Raven Adventure Book number 1, Tenebris Cats and Forgotten Tombstones, the Raven Terror Deck, and the Raven Tenebris voice screen. So instead of the DM, you're the voice. This is a Raven role-playing game based upon the works of Edgar Allan Poe, specifically The Raven, a poem, the world-famous Raven poem, Quoth the Raven Nevermore. It's a gothic world of gothic horror and cursed magic. Encourages you to steep your game in mystery, curses, passions, despair, and longing. In the city of Raven, which is loosely based on 19th century North America, specters and ghosts and sinister machinations and cats, spectral beings, impossible loves, tragedy, mystery, Shakespearean comedy, and comeuppance, and all the stuff we love about Edgar Allan Poe and that time period and that style of writing, that gothic, deep, thick, deep South, mystery-filled time. $55 for the game, $45 for the adventure, $34 for the tarot deck, and $22 for the DM screen. Does that mean the game uses tarot decks to decide the outcomes? Or is just that's just a theme that you can do where you can have your tarot read while you're playing the game? Tarot is one of those things like, should you mess with it? Is it real? I mean it doesn't. A lot of people believe it's real, and really it's like kind of those things. If you believe in it enough, it becomes real, or does it? I mean, it's probably better not to mess with it. Just be on the safe side. But it looks cool. You know, spooky gothic, just in time for this type of year. Look out my window. It's very spooky and gothic at the moment. So you just sort of feel like that's a thing. So we got that, which is interesting. We got this, which just is nice to remind us that there is a Terminator role-playing game. We got this, which has, I think the second thing, you know how I always say, if you can't come up with an idea, make a monster book for your game. The second thing is, if you can't come up with an idea, Lovecraft. Just do something with tentacles. We've got some Morkborg weirdness, because, of course, we have Morkborg weirdness. We've got some Dungeon Crawl Classic awesomeness. Yeah. And we got some 5e love, which borders the mystery of what is going on between current 5e as we know it and 6e, especially with you releasing this stuff, you know, because none of this stuff has said it's 2024 5e. It's just saying it's 5e. And I think by now we need to accept the reality that 2024 5e or 6e is a completely different beast than 2014 5e. So we have to start differentiating going forward. So I'm going to err on caution that this is for 2014 5e, the 5e that we know or love. And is that supposed to be Doctor Strange? I just caught that. You know, he shows up everywhere. That's all the friendly local game store news for this week. If you appreciate this content, let me know. Don't take my word for it, though. Please call your friendly local game store and make sure they have the product in stock. Don't just go there and get angry. Support your friendly local game store if you are lucky enough to have one. They are an endangered species. I will remind people that I live in a major a major suburb of Los Angeles that doesn't have one. But meanwhile, a very small town with less than 600 people living in it up by the Salton Sea does. Wish them all the luck. So, yeah. Till next time, have a great day. I will talk to you later. See ya.
Yo, check. Yeah, we're not the type to play games. You can stay claims. Came to show the movement moving.